guys, so I bet you're all wondering why I'm so dressed up. Ah, who am I kidding? Nobody's wondering. I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's so I can do this.
Do not come between the Nazgul and his prey. Don't you do it. No, you did it.
And now I have actual real helmet hair. Okay, the real reason I'm dressed up is because last night I won the Shorty Award for Canada. Yes, thank you. No, not you, screw you. I'm probably losing my mind. I just wanted to give a big thank you to the crew 124. I think we got like 2,000 votes, which is like half of Canada, so no wonder we won. We beat the likes of Justin Bieber and Simple Plan. That's right, Simple Plan. What of it? So the other reason why I'm all dressed up, I love to intake fluids through my mouth! I just can't take anything seriously. I want to tell you about a very true story that actually happened to me. So as many of you may or may not know, I don't drive because whenever I get behind the wheel, my GTA impulses take over and I just kinda... And because I don't drive, I often find myself having to get from point A to point B without wanting to see a homeless man's penis tumors. So I do what any normal person would do, and I take a cab. If you've ever taken a cab before, you'll know that they like to make super awkward small talk like it's part of their job. Hey, so what do you think of this weather, friend? You ever bang a Yeti? And most of the time, they're really nice people, but sometimes I just want to be like, look buddy, just look out the big piece of glass in front of you and make sure I don't die. Because if I die, you're not getting paid. So it's really in your best interest to make me not die in your big yellow death machine. And if you've been in a cab, then you definitely know that whenever a cab driver looks out his window and sees another cab driver, he gets more excited than watching his son comb his first mustache. Hey, you drive cabs, I drive cabs! Ah, what's your cab smell like? Rotten leather in your butthole? Mine too! Oh my god, we should totally get together and have cab sex sometime. One time when I was in a cab in Chicago, the cab driver went 3 blocks out of his way just so he could wave at another cab driver. And I was in the back angrier than a grizzly bear made of hand grenades because I was paying for the whole thing. I mean, I almost put my butt up against the window and took a dump. So anyway, on this particular evening, I had just come home from a 3-week stay in California. I had just got off a Greyhound bus for 3 hours, and I was not wanting human interaction. So I step outside the bus station hoping to see the nice people from my favorite cab company, but instead looked into the eyes of Satan as he took my bags and told me to get in the cab. Also, why is it the cab drivers wait outside bus stations and try and lure you into their cab by telling you how awesome their cab is? Hey my friend, get in the cab! It'll be like being pleasured by God's angelic foot soldiers. You won't believe the pleasure that awaits inside my giant motorized Twinkie. It'll be so much pleasure, you'll hit your maximum pleasure. And then also I've got candy. When really, it's more like being molested by sandpaper. This one time I was walking home from a friend's house in the snow at night, and a cab driver pulled up to me and, he asked if I wanted a ride. I told him, I don't have any money, but he said, nah, it's okay, it's free, just hop in. This is basically the most rapiest thing that has ever been offered to me. I feel like if I would have hopped in his cab, I immediately would have been sold into the sex slave trade, and I would have woken up in a bathtub without my kidneys. Okay, so anyway, back to the story. I hop in his cab, and it's about 14 minutes of him telling me how sometimes it's warm, and other times it's not so warm, and me giving him the usual answers like yes, no, I absolutely will not have sex with wildlife. When he asked me how I want to pay for the ride, I'm a big fan of the debit card because there's no change, there's no bills, there's no wallet full of money, and if you lose it, nobody can steal your stuff because science. So I pay with my debit card, and while I'm waiting for him to release me, he tells me that the transaction didn't go through. But here I am looking at the little pen pad, and I can see that it says accepted. But he's telling me that, it didn't go through because there's no receipt, and blah 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 blah. And we argue back and forth like this for, I don't know, 10 minutes before he tells me, hey, no, because you didn't pay me, I'm driving you back to the bus station. I think that my favorite part about this whole argument was when he tried to show me this old, crumpled up, dirty receipt that he clearly just found on the floor that was from 20 minutes before I even got off the bus. Excuse me, sir, but this receipt, look, the debit account says 01. Is that Jesus's debit account? Did Jesus pay with his checkings? And we argue back and forth like this for, I don't know, 10 minutes before he tells me, hey, no, because you didn't pay me, I'm driving you back to the bus station. And it's at this point that I decide to open the door and stick my whole body out of the cab and scream, "Help, I'm being kidnapped," which then thusly causes him to stop the cab and let me go. So I got my stuff and I went back up to my apartment and I called the cab company and we had a good chuckle over it and I never took their cab again. This is just more and more reasons to never leave the house. So now that you've heard my story, I'd like to present you with a couple things to never do in a cab. Like 1, don't make eye contact because that's how the cab driver steals your soul. 2, don't talk. If you don't talk, they can't see you because their vision is based on small talk. Actually, those are really the only 2 that I could come up with. So, yeah. If you got this far in the video, don't forget to give the video a rating, like it or dislike it, I don't care. And don't forget to leave a comment below letting me know what's, the next thing you'd like to hear me talk about because I've got a lot of things and stuff. And I'll see you guys on Friday for a Dare Matt G. Play some Surgeon Simulator. Let's operate, perform a heart transplant, so we should probably get a look at all our tools here. What is this, what's this? All right, there's the